After 60, there are 4 types of fish you should completely avoid, and 4 others you need to eat every single day. Have you ever enjoyed a serving of fish, believing it was boosting your health, only to later realize that what's on your plate might quietly be harming your brain, your heart, and even accelerating the aging process? For adults over 60, this isn't just speculation, it's a reality. Groundbreaking research published in The Lancet in 2023 revealed that eating the wrong fish just twice a week can increase your risk of stroke and memory decline by as much as 70 to 80%. And here's the frightening part. Nobody talks about. The majority of seniors are consuming the wrong fish every single week. These are fish packed with mercury, dangerous toxins, and hidden inflammatory agents, all while thinking they've made a smart, healthy choice. But here's the encouraging news. A new study from the Journal of Gerontology shows that choosing the right fish can cut your risk of Alzheimer's disease by up to 40%, safeguard your arteries, and even slow down aging from within. So tonight, I'll guide you through the facts, the 4 fish you should steer clear of after 60, followed by the 4 you ought to include daily if you want to stay mentally sharp, physically strong, and independent. Every point I share comes directly from peer-reviewed science, not myths or fear tactics. You'll find all the sources linked in the description below. Before we dive in, let me know in the comments, which fish do you eat most often and why? I truly enjoy reading your experiences and responding whenever I can. And if you're new here, I am Dr. Alan Brooks, and this is Health Mastery 365, where we uncover science-based strategies to help you live stronger, healthier, and longer. Now, let's get started with Part 1, the 4 fish you should never eat after 60. Worst fish number 4, imported catfish. At first glance, catfish seems harmless, even appealing. It's mild in taste, easy to prepare, and usually one of the cheapest fish in the market. But here's the hidden truth. If that catfish comes from overseas farms, especially in certain parts of Asia, it may be one of the most contaminated fish you could ever put on your plate. The problem begins with how these fish are raised. Many imported catfish farms pack thousands of fish into overcrowded ponds. In such conditions, disease spreads like wildfire. To keep them alive, farmers rely heavily on antibiotics. And here's the unsettling reality: those antibiotics don't simply disappear. They build up in the flesh. When you eat that fish, you're consuming those residues too. For seniors whose immune defenses are naturally weaker, this can fuel antibiotic resistance. That means when you truly need life-saving medicine, it may not work as effectively. But antibiotics are just the beginning. Independent testing has revealed that imported catfish often contain residues of banned chemicals and even carcinogen substances that should never be in your food supply. Many of these farms operate in polluted waters, where the fish absorb industrial runoff and heavy metals like mercury and lead. According to the World Health Organization, chronic exposure to heavy metals can raise the risk of kidney damage, neurological decline, and even cancer. And because older bodies process toxins less efficiently, the danger is magnified with age. Then there's another invisible threat: inflammation. Imported catfish are usually fed a cheap, unnatural diet of corn and soy. This creates a dangerously high omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. While your body needs some omega-6 fats too much without enough omega-3s to balance it, fans the flames of inflammation. For seniors already managing arthritis, heart disease, or autoimmune issues, eating this fish is like pouring gasoline on an open fire. And here's the kicker: imported catfish is nutritionally poor compared to healthier seafood. It provides low-quality protein and almost none of the beneficial nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids, selenium, or vitamin B12 that you would normally expect from fish. In other words, you're taking in empty calories laced with hidden risks. So yes, that catfish fillet may look like a budget-friendly choice, but the hidden costs to your health can be enormous. If catfish is on your menu, make sure it's domestically farmed. U.S.-raised catfish must follow strict safety standards, offering a far safer option for those who still enjoy its taste. Worst fish number 3. Tuna. For decades, tuna has carried the image of a wholesome, lean source of protein. From tuna salad sandwiches at lunchtime to canned tuna tossed into a quick pasta dinner, it's become a fixture in millions of American households. But here's the truth. Most people never hear for adults over 60. This everyday fish can conceal a hidden silent threat, one that may quietly chip away at your brain, your heart, and your nervous system. The problem is mercury. Larger tuna species like albacore, white tuna, and big eye sit high on the ocean's food chain. They live long lives and feed on smaller fish, which means they steadily absorb mercury year after year. Over time, those mercury levels don't just vanish. They build up in the flesh of the fish you're putting on your plate. When you eat tuna, that mercury doesn't simply pass through your body. Instead, it settles into your tissues, particularly your brain and nervous system. Younger adults may be able to handle small exposures, but for seniors whose natural detox systems slow with age, the danger multiplies. Clinical research has shown mercury can trigger memory loss, confusion, numbness, tremors, and even mood swings. How often do we shrug these off as just getting older, when the real culprit could be hiding in a tuna sandwich? The risks go beyond the brain. Mercury also places significant strain on the cardiovascular system. It can interfere with the heart's electrical signals, raising the likelihood of irregular heart rhythms or even increasing the risk of heart attack. A study published in JAMA Neurology found that seniors with higher mercury levels from tuna consumption faced a staggering 65% greater risk of cognitive decline. That's not a statistic any of us can afford to ignore. In other words, millions of older adults who believe they're making a smart, heart-healthy choice are in fact unknowingly placing their long-term health at risk. Even canned tuna, often assumed to be harmless, isn't completely safe. Light tuna, usually skipjack, contains lower mercury than albacore, but still enough to require strict moderation. And for many seniors, canned tuna becomes a near-daily habit. It's affordable, convenient, and familiar, but repeated exposure allows mercury to accumulate until the damage is already done. So, does this mean you can never enjoy tuna again? Not exactly. The key is moderation and awareness. If you love it, stick only to light canned tuna in small amounts, no more than once or twice a month. The truth, however, is that there are far safer alternatives. Other fish offer just as much high-quality protein and omega-3s without loading your body with toxic heavy metals. For seniors striving to preserve memory, mood, and heart health, tuna simply isn't worth the gamble. The danger is invisible. The damage is gradual, and by the time symptoms show, it may already be too late to reverse them. That's why tuna earns its place on this list of the 4 worst fish seniors should avoid after 60. Worst fish, for unto king mackerel. Mackerel can be a confusing fish. Why? Because it comes in 2 very different forms. On one side, you have the safe, nutritious varieties like Atlantic and Spanish mackerel. On the other, you have the dangerous kind, king mackerel. And here's the problem: most seniors don't realize the difference. That simple mistake can quietly put your brain, heart, and overall health at serious risk. King mackerel is a large, long-living, predatory fish. And here's a simple rule of thumb: the bigger and older the fish, the higher up it sits in the ocean food chain, the more toxins it collects over time. King mackerel is no exception. The greatest concern: mercury. Not just trace amounts, king mackerel is infamous for containing some of the highest mercury levels of any fish commonly eaten. Why does that matter so much for people over 60? Mercury is a toxic heavy metal that directly attacks the brain and nervous system. And as we age, our nerve cells naturally become more vulnerable. That means mercury exposure can accelerate decline far faster in seniors than in younger adults. Even eating king mackerel just a few times a month can push your mercury levels beyond what's considered safe. The consequences: memory loss, tremors, difficulty, concentrating mood swings, even depression. And here's the tricky part. Many of these symptoms get brushed off as just part of getting older, when in reality, they may be directly tied to what's on your plate. And it's not just the brain that suffers. Mercury places heavy stress on the cardiovascular system. It can damage the lining of blood vessels, increase oxidative stress, and disrupt the heart's electrical signaling. For seniors already living with high blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, or heart disease, that's like pouring gasoline on a fire. In fact, research has linked regular king mackerel consumption to a significantly higher risk of both heart attack and stroke. To make matters worse, king mackerel often shows up in grocery stores or restaurants under the generic label mackerel. Unless you specifically ask, you may not even realize you're eating the dangerous variety. Imagine ordering grilled mackerel thinking it's a healthy choice, when in reality, you're putting your health in harm's way. Health authorities strongly back this warning. Both the FDA Food and Drug Administration and EPA Environmental Protection Agency have placed king mackerel on the official Do Not Eat list. Seniors, children, and pregnant women are all advised to avoid it completely. And the risk is even higher for those with kidney or liver problems conditions that are more common after 60. Why? Because these organs are responsible for filtering toxins, and when they're weakened, the body struggles to remove mercury effectively. That allows dangerous levels to build up even faster. But let's be clear, not all mackerel is bad. Atlantic mackerel and Spanish mackerel are smaller species with much lower mercury levels. In fact, they can actually be safe, nutritious choices packed with protein and omega-3s. The distinction matters. If you love the flavor of mackerel, don't worry. There are safer alternatives we'll cover shortly. But when it comes to king mackerel, the best decision for your health is crystal clear. Never touch it. Worst fish number 1, farm tilapia. This one might surprise you. Tilapia is one of the most popular fish in America. It's cheap, widely available, and often promoted as a healthy lean protein. But here's the tough truth. Farm-raised tilapia is one of the worst choices for seniors. And once you see how it's really raised, you'll understand why experts sometimes call it more harmful than red meat or even bacon. The first problem is farming conditions. In most operations, tilapia are packed into overcrowded ponds or cages, often swimming in their own waste. These filthy environments quickly breed bacteria, parasites, and disease. To keep fish alive, farmers rely on heavy use of antibiotics, pesticides, and antifungal agents. Those chemicals don't disappear. They build up in the fish's flesh, and eventually in your body. For older adults, this is especially risky. With age, the immune system weakens, and the body processes toxins less efficiently. That means residues from farmed tilapia add to an already vulnerable system, raising the chance of illness and infection. The feed is another issue. To cut costs, farms often use low-quality fillers like corn, soy, and even chicken waste. Yes, chicken feces is sometimes part of the diet. This unnatural feed alters the structure of the fish, producing one of the worst omega fatty acid profiles of any food. Ideally, the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 should be about 1:1 or 2:1. In farmed tilapia, it can reach 11:1. Why does this matter? Too much omega-6 fuels inflammation in the body, like pouring gasoline on a fire. For seniors living with arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, or Alzheimer's, that's a dangerous trigger. Research has shown tilapia can raise inflammatory markers even more than bacon or hamburgers. Imagine choosing tilapia for health only to find it's worse than fast food. It doesn't stop there. Tests on farmed tilapia have detected dioxins, industrial pollutants that accumulate in fat tissue and remain for years. Dioxins are linked to cancer-weakened immunity and hormonal disruption. For seniors already more sensitive to toxins, this is especially alarming. Nutritionally, tilapia also falls short. Unlike wild fish with dense nutrient-rich flesh, farmed tilapia often has lower levels of omega-3s, selenium, and vitamin B12. For seniors, the consequences can be serious. Worse arthritis pain, greater risk of heart attack or stroke, more infections from antibiotic residues, and long-term cancer risk from dioxin buildup. The bottom line is clear. If you're over 60 and want to protect your brain, heart, and joints, stay away from farmed tilapia. It's not neutral, it's actively harmful. Choosing cleaner, safer, and more nutrient-rich fish can mean the difference between fueling inflammation or fueling longevity. From dangerous waters to healing choices. Now, you know the truth. Not all fish are created equal. Some, like farm-raised tilapia or imported catfish, may look perfectly harmless on your plate. But beneath the surface, they hide toxins, unhealthy fats, and contaminants that slowly and quietly erode your health. For seniors already living with inflammation, fragile joints, or memory concerns, eating the wrong fish can mean the difference between healing and harm. But here's the good news. Not every fish is the enemy. In fact, the right ones are among the most powerful healing foods you can add to your diet after 60. They are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, proven to calm inflammation, minerals that strengthen bones, antioxidants that protect brain cells, and high-quality protein that keeps muscles strong and steady. According to research published in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging, seniors who consume omega-3 rich fish regularly show improved cognitive function and reduced risk of cardiovascular disease. And here's the best part. These fish are not only safe and clean, but also budget-friendly. You don't need to spend a fortune to give your body what it truly craves. When you choose wisely, you're not just eating for today, you're investing in sharper vision, steadier balance, stronger memory, and a heart that keeps beating strong for years to come. So let's leave the danger list behind and dive into the 4 best fish for seniors over 60, starting with one that rarely gets the spotlight but deserves a permanent place on your dinner table. Part 2. The 4 best fish for seniors. Best fish number 4, wild-caught Pacific cod. But hiding in the background is a true nutritional powerhouse that deserves much more attention: wild-caught Pacific cod. This mild white fish may not have the same fame as its pink-colored cousins, but when it comes to supporting senior health, cod delivers far more than most expect. So why does Pacific cod matter so much after age 60? Let's begin with the numbers. A single serving provides about 40 grams of complete high-quality protein with less than 2 grams of fat and only around 180 calories. That's an almost perfect nutrient profile for older adults battling sarcopenia, the age-related muscle loss that affects nearly half of people over 80. Without enough lean, bioavailable protein, muscles weaken, balance declines, and independence slips away. Cod steps in as one of the most efficient protein sources you can find, nourishing muscle tissue without weighing you down with excess fat. But protein isn't the only reason cod is special. This fish is also a superstar when it comes to selenium, a trace mineral most seniors don't get nearly enough of. Just one serving of Pacific cod provides over 100% of the recommended daily intake. Why does that matter? Selenium acts like a microscopic shield for your cells. It supports thyroid function, helping keep metabolism steady. It boosts the immune system, and it works as a powerful antioxidant, protecting your body from oxidative stress, the rusting process that accelerates aging from the inside out. And here's the real kicker: research from the National Institutes of Health has shown that seniors with higher selenium levels enjoy better cognitive function and lower rates of age-related disease. In other words, choosing cod doesn't just feed your muscles, it helps protect your brain. Beyond Selenium, cod provides phosphorus, which partners with calcium to keep bones dense and resistant to fractures, and vitamin B12, an essential nutrient that becomes harder to absorb with age. Without enough B12, many seniors face anemia, fatigue, and nerve-related problems. Cod delivers B12 in a natural, highly absorbable form, giving the nervous system the fuel it needs to keep memory sharp and mood steady. Now, let's talk about purity. One of the biggest concerns with seafood is contamination. Many large fish species live long lives at the top of the food chain, which means they accumulate mercury and other toxins over time. Cod is different. Wild Pacific cod live relatively short lives in the cold, clean waters of Alaska, so they carry far fewer contaminants. On top of that, Alaska's cod fishery is one of the most sustainable and carefully managed in the world. That means you can enjoy cod regularly without worrying about mercury overload or environmental guilt. And if you've ever struggled with digestion after eating fattier fish, cod may come as a relief. Its firm, flaky texture is light, easy on the stomach, and well tolerated even for those with sensitive digestion. Of course, preparation makes a difference. To preserve its full benefits, avoid frying or grilling at very high heat, which can damage delicate proteins and reduce selenium's effectiveness. The best approach is to bake or steam cod gently at medium heat. Pair it with a drizzle of olive oil or a few slices of avocado, then finish with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. This not only brightens the flavor, but also helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins more efficiently. It strengthens muscles, protects the brain, supports thyroid function, and guards against oxidative damage, all in a low-calorie, low-toxin package. For seniors who are serious about staying strong, sharp, and independent, Pacific cod is a quiet hero worth enjoying regularly. Best fish, number 3. Sardines. At first glance, sardines may not look impressive. They're tiny, packed tightly into small cans, and often overshadowed by flashier seafood like salmon or tuna. But here's the surprising truth: sardines are one of the most powerful superfoods older adults can eat. Don't let their small size fool you. These humble fish deliver enormous health benefits, especially after age 60. Let's start with their biggest claim to fame, omega-3 fatty acids. Sardines are among the richest natural sources of omega-3s, offering more per serving than nearly any other fish. Why does this matter so much as we age? Because our bodies naturally produce more inflammatory compounds over time, and chronic inflammation is the hidden culprit behind stiff joints, arthritis, heart disease, clogged arteries, and even memory decline. The omega-3s in sardines, especially EPA and DHA, act like natural firefighters inside your cells. They help calm that ongoing inflammation, improve blood flow, and shield your arteries from damage. And this isn't just theory. Clinical studies consistently show that seniors who eat fatty fish like sardines at least twice a week have lower rates of heart disease, better mobility, and more stable moods. But the benefits don't stop there. Sardines are also one of the rare natural food sources of vitamin D. After age 60, the skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D, leaving many older adults deficient without realizing it. That deficiency can weaken bones, raise the risk of falls, slow down healing, and even contribute to depression. Just one can of sardines supplies about 40% of your daily vitamin D needs. Even better, sardines bring along calcium and phosphorus from their soft, edible bones, creating a perfect trio for bone health. Every bite delivers calcium in its most bioavailable form, easily absorbed and paired with the nutrients that help it bind to your bones. For seniors worried about osteoporosis, fractures, or hip breaks, sardines are like a built-in nutritional insurance policy. And here's another overlooked fact: sardines sit at the very bottom of the food chain. Instead of feeding on other fish, they consume plankton. This means they accumulate virtually no mercury or heavy metals. Unlike larger predatory fish such as tuna or king mackerel, sardines remain one of the cleanest, safest seafood options for regular meals. No need to worry about toxic buildup. Beyond omega-3s, vitamin D, and calcium, sardines are also loaded with vitamin B12, a nutrient that becomes harder to absorb with age. Low B12 can trigger fatigue, memory lapses, and nerve issues. Sardines provide it abundantly, helping to keep your nervous system sharp and preventing that foggy feeling many older adults describe. And let's not forget protein. Sardines pack complete, easily digestible protein that supports muscle mass, a key factor in preventing falls, maintaining independence, and keeping metabolism active. Research even shows that seniors who eat sardines regularly enjoy stronger bones, better cardiovascular health, and sharper mental clarity compared to those who don't. That's a lot of payoff from such a small, humble fish. Preparation couldn't be easier. Sardines can be enjoyed straight from the tin, tossed onto a salad, mashed with avocado on whole grain toast, or mixed into pasta with olive oil and fresh herbs. Because they're affordable, shelf-stable, and versatile, sardines are one of the simplest and most reliable ways to get consistent omega-3s and bone-strengthening nutrients into your diet. Bottom line, sardines may be small, but when it comes to protecting your heart, brain, and bones after 60, they deliver results that rival and even surpass many bigger fish. Best fish number 2. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon. If there's one fish that nutrition experts across the world consistently place in the category of medicinal food, it's wild-caught Alaskan salmon. For seniors, this isn't just a healthy option, it's transformative. Every bite delivers a remarkable package of nutrients that nourish the heart, brain, muscles, and immune system in ways very few other foods can match. So what makes salmon so special? Let's begin with its omega-3s. And not just any omega-3s, but the two most powerful types, EPA eicosapentaenoic acid and DHA docosahexaenoic acid. These fatty acids are absolutely essential for brain health. In fact, research from the University of Pittsburgh found that older adults with higher DHA levels in their blood had larger brain volumes and better memory performance compared to those with lower levels. That means salmon doesn't simply slow brain decline, it actively helps your mind stay sharp and resilient well into your 70s and 80s. And its benefits don't stop there. Omega-3s are also among nature's most effective anti-inflammatories. They help reduce chronic inflammation, the hidden driver of arthritis, stiff joints, clogged arteries, and even poor circulation in the legs. Clinical studies show that eating wild salmon at least twice a week can significantly reduce levels of C-reactive protein, a major inflammatory marker tied to heart disease and joint pain. For seniors who struggle with daily aches, that reduction can mean real, noticeable relief. Now let's talk about protein. As the body ages, it becomes less efficient at using dietary protein. That's one reason many seniors continue to lose muscle mass, a condition called sarcopenia, even when they think they're eating enough. The solution lies in high-quality bioavailable protein that the body can break down and use easily. A single serving of wild-caught salmon provides about 40 grams of premium protein, giving muscles the raw materials they need to maintain strength, support balance, and prevent dangerous falls. And here's something most people don't realize. The striking pink-orange color of wild salmon isn't just for looks. It comes from astaxanthin, a rare antioxidant. Think of it as cellular armor protecting your body from oxidative stress, the slow rusting process that happens inside as we age. Studies show astaxanthin not only reduces inflammation, but also supports skin elasticity, eye health, and even physical endurance. Beyond omega-3s and antioxidants, wild salmon delivers a wide range of essential micronutrients. It's rich in selenium, which teams up with vitamin E to protect the heart and lower cancer risk. It contains vitamin B12 and B6, which support nerve health and keep energy metabolism running smoothly. And it offers vitamin D, critical for bone strength and immune defense, especially important since many adults over 60 are deficient without knowing it. Purity is another reason wild-caught Alaskan salmon stands apart. Unlike farmed salmon, which often contain mercury, PCBs, and other contaminants, Alaskan salmon roam freely in clean, cold waters and eat a natural diet. That makes them naturally low in toxins and one of the safest seafood options you can choose. Of course, how you prepare salmon makes a big difference. To preserve its delicate proteins and maximize nutrient retention, avoid frying or cooking at very high heat. Instead, bake, steam, or grill gently at medium temperatures. Pair it with colorful vegetables and a drizzle of olive oil, and you've created a meal that's not only delicious, but also supports longevity, vitality, and mental clarity. Bottom line, wild-caught Alaskan salmon isn't just food, it's medicine on a plate. For seniors who want to protect their brain, strengthen their heart, and stay independent for years to come, this fish is one of the most powerful choices you can make. Best fish number 1, rainbow trout. When people think of the healthiest fish, salmon usually steals the spotlight. But if you're over 60, there's one fish that quietly deserves the crown: rainbow trout. Why? Because it combines the nutritional strengths of salmon, cod, and sardines, while also being one of the cleanest and safest fish you can put on your plate. The first thing that makes rainbow trout stand out is safety. Unlike many farmed fish raised in overcrowded conditions, pumped full of antibiotics, and fed unnatural diets, rainbow trout raised in the United States are strictly regulated. They're grown in clean freshwater systems with carefully controlled environments. That means no need to worry about mercury, hidden pollutants, or chemical residues. For seniors who are already more vulnerable to toxin buildup, this makes trout one of the most trustworthy choices. But the real magic of rainbow trout lies in its omega-3 content. A single serving delivers about 1,000 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, right in the sweet spot for protecting your heart. Omega-3s do more than just keep arteries flexible. They reduce chronic inflammation, the silent driver behind many age-related conditions, arthritis, stiff joints, clogged arteries, and even cognitive decline. For older adults, that's not just nutrition, it's protection. And trout's benefits don't stop there. This fish is also packed with minerals seniors often lack. Potassium is one of the most important. Nearly 70% of adults over 60 struggle with high blood pressure. Potassium helps balance excess sodium, naturally lowering blood pressure and reducing stroke risk. Phosphorus teams up with calcium to keep bones strong and resistant to fractures. Iron supports healthy red blood cell production, fighting off fatigue. Zinc plays a critical role in immune function, healing, and maintaining taste and smell as we age. Then there's the B vitamin profile. Rainbow trout is especially rich in niacin, vitamin B3, which helps balance cholesterol by raising HDL, the good cholesterol, while lowering LDL, the bad. Seniors who get enough niacin are at lower risk of heart disease, a major victory for cardiovascular health. On top of that, trout provides a generous dose of vitamin B12, which supports nerve function and helps prevent fatigue and the brain fog so many older adults experience. Another hidden gem in rainbow trout is vitamin E. This antioxidant protects cell membranes from damage and strengthens immune defenses. Paired with omega-3s and selenium, vitamin E forms a triple shield against oxidative stress, the cellular wear and tear that accelerates aging. And here's one of its most practical benefits: ease of eating. Trout's mild flavor and tender, flaky texture make it incredibly easy to digest. Finally, rainbow trout is versatile. You can bake it, pan-sear it, or grill it with a touch of herbs and lemon. It adapts beautifully to many cooking styles while retaining its nutrient value. That means you're less likely to get bored and fall back into less healthy eating habits. Bottom line, rainbow trout is the ultimate senior-friendly fish, clean, safe, nutrient-rich, and delicious. It supports the heart, brain, bones, and immune system all at once. If there's one fish you should eat regularly to age stronger, healthier, and sharper, rainbow trout deserves the #1 spot. So there you have it, the complete truth about fish after 60. Some can quietly harm your heart, brain, and joints, filling your body with toxins and inflammation, while others can revitalize every cell, safeguard your memory, and restore the energy and strength you thought were gone. The decision is straightforward, yet life-changing. Keep consuming the wrong fish, and the dangers gradually stack up. Stroke, memory, decline, aching joints even faster, aging. But choose wisely: wild salmon, sardines, cod, or rainbow trout, and you're essentially giving your body a natural dose of medicine every single week. What you place on your plate today shapes the quality of your life tomorrow. It determines whether you'll be strong enough to carry your groceries, sharp enough to fully enjoy conversations, and confident enough to live on your own well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. And remember, you don't have to overhaul everything in one night. Begin small. Replace one harmful fish with a beneficial one. Add just 1 or 2 meals of the right seafood each week. Over time, those simple steps build a future where you feel sturdier, clearer, and more vibrant. At Health Mastery 365, we believe aging should never equal decline. With smart choices, your greatest years can still be ahead. If you found this video valuable, hit the like button, share it with a friend who enjoys seafood, and subscribe to Health Mastery 365 so you don't miss the impactful tips we've got coming your way. And now, I'd love to hear from you. Which fish do you eat most often? And after today's video, will you be changing what's on your dinner plate? Leave your response in the comments I read and reply to as many as I can. Here's to making wise, science-backed decisions. And here's to living stronger, healthier, longer.